went, I told President Uhuru Kenyatta. He was my great buddy. I said, Mr. President, listening to the people, this rider project they don't want. Please don't force them. They will disappoint you and they will embarrass you. And he shrugged it off. He didn't think it is true. He still believed he had instruments of state and he could persuade people to do things differently. I went back a second and a third time, and then I gave up, and then we differed. But I told him the truth, what people are saying. My brother, I am one Kenyan leader who never deviates from where the people are. I always align with the people, and that is why I've never lost an election. Anybody I've ever supported has won, because I take my time to listen to the people. I have listened to the people, and they have made a decision. I've heard William Ruto complaining that we are only talking about one term. Indeed, it's not our wish to talk about one term throughout. It's the people who are forcing us. They don't want to listen to anything else. The other day I was in Nyandarua, in a place called Meharati. People have gone to meet before, and before that they asked me to talk about potatoes, the storage facilities, roads, water, schools. The last time I was there, I tried to talk about water, about schools, about potatoes. They are not interested. They say, tell us about one term. So I want to tell William Ruto, why we are unable to talk about anything else in public meetings is because the people don't want to discuss anything else. They want to discuss one term. They are impatient. They want this guy to go like yesterday because he's the cause of all their problems. People are struggling. SHA is not working. The education system has collapsed. Children are at home. Roads have not been repaired. There is no money in circulation. Bribery is taking place in State House when they can see. They feel stifled. They feel occupied, and they want to be free. So they are talking about one term. So when I came up with this one term slogan, many people ask me, where did you come with this slogan? I was just summarizing what the people are saying. I listen to the people, and God has gifted me with figurative language as a student of literature. I listen to what people of Kenya are saying, and I needed to capture what the people of Kenya are saying and what they want in one word. Because in the figurative language, people don't want too many words in matters communication. People want to describe a difficult situation or a solution in one single word. So I thought about it, and listening to the people of Kenya across the country, the mood in the country, what the people want. Then I came up with the slogan of WANTAM. It has spread like bushfire. It is discussed everywhere, in bars, in churches, in matatus, in Uber, in salons, in barbershops. And I just listened to the people and captured their feelings, their aspirations, and what they want in one word.
One word. You talk about WANTAM, but at the time when Kenyans went to the streets to complain about the ills the government is putting on them, and one word was kufa dereva, kufa makanga. And when you talk about WANTAM, Kenyans have insisted that it is the entire crew of politicians to go home and we reset the status of the country. How would you respond to Kenyans who say, even you, Rigathi Gachagua, we do not want you to lead us?
Well, I don't know which Kenyans those are, because when I go to meetings, thousands attend without any mobilization. I don't pay people to attend my meetings like William Ruto does. Today he was in church in Meru. The people who went to church were paid. It has reached there. He cannot talk to people without paying them. I don't pay people. I address organic meetings across the country. And people, when I turn up wherever I go, they come in thousands. So I don't know which are these Kenyans that have a problem with Rigathi Gachagua and they think he's part of the problem. Yes, they considered me to be part of the problem, but along the way, I graduated into part of the solution. And one of the solutions that Kenyans want, that I have taken charge of, is WANTAM. And Kenyans are happy with me because you remember when I went to the United States for 6 weeks and Kenyans were asking for me to come back because the WANTAM momentum was slowing down. And that is what Kenyans want. So what I did is I was a part of the problem. When I realized there's a problem, I differed with William Ruto. And along the way, I graduated into a solution that has gone well with the people of Kenya. And the people of Kenya, wherever I go, I get rousing welcome. I don't pay anybody. My meetings spend nothing other than fuel and batteries for my microphones. I don't spend money. As opposed to my opponent, William Ruto, because that is my opponent. For him to address in a meeting, like in the Mount Kenya region, he spends a minimum of 10 million in a meeting. His MPs, they spend 2-3 million. His deputy spends about 5 million to talk to anybody. All these guys you see at our tent, they are all paid. And if you don't pay them, they will start saying WANTAM. And even what is interesting is, because I also communicated to my people when I realized that a lot of money is being used to bribe them, I also told them, I gave them the charges to charge these guys to come and cheat them. And what has happened now is that William Ruto and his group pays Kenyans to listen to them. The minute they take off, they all start shouting WANTAM, because we agreed that this money is stolen. In any case, even if you don't take it from William Ruto, you'll take it elsewhere. So why not? Just take it, but don't sell your conscience, and stick with what you believe in. So I don't agree with you that Kenyans say they want to get rid of everybody. If they did, the meetings I do, there will be nobody, or they will be demanding I pay them.
But regarding Gachagua, you've taken responsibility of being part of the problem. And what are some of the problems we're talking about? We talk about SHA. Let's talk about affordable housing. Let's talk about taxes. During the campaign period, you and President William Ruto went across the country saying the problem with the high price of fuel in the country was because of the taxes. But what did we see once you formed the government? The taxes increased from 8% to 16%, 100% increment. As Kenyans sit here today and listen to you speak, they say you are part of the pain we feel today. We feel not comfortable to have you on board.
I'll qualify that. I am not part of the problem of taxation, theft of public resources, wanton corruption. I'm not part of that. The problem I admit I am part of was bringing William Ruto to office. That I accept. And I've apologized 100 times to the people of Kenya. That I created the mess we are in by assisting William Ruto to be elected president. I accept wholeheartedly to the people of Kenya that I created a problem in Kenya, and I take responsibility. But I've also told the people of Kenya, now that I admit I made a great mistake in creating the problem, the mistake called William Ruto, the greatest lie ever in the history of Kenya. For me to redeem my image, I must play an even greater role in correcting that problem by making sure William Ruto is WANTAM. As to the problems that are in the country, as his deputy, we had no role. William Ruto is a one-man show. He runs the government single-handedly. And you can see, like now, he's doing roadside declarations. Yesterday, he was in Vihiga, and somebody there, an MP, complained about fees for IDs. And then he made a declaration there that there will be no more fees without consulting the policy makers, without talking to anybody. That's a mess we are in a country. The other day you saw teachers come to State House for bribes. And then he made a unilateral declaration that 20% of those houses will go to teachers without talking to the minister, without talking to the directors, without talking to the people who made this policy. That's the way this country is run. You know, that is the way this country is run. And therefore, I absolve myself from any blame, because when I realized that as deputy I had no role, the ministers had no role, the PSs had no role, I started having a fight with him within, until it reached a place we could not agree, and he made a decision to throw me out, which is okay, you know. But I realized, and after the first 1 year, that the Kenya government, led by William Ruto, had become a criminal enterprise. Theft of public resources, misappropriation of funds, decisions that are of commercial interest to him and his family. And I couldn't take it, because that is not what he had told me when we were forming government. That is not what he had told the people of Kenya.